is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: ice cream, literature, fly me to the moons, the old country, the movies, and letters. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 1, make a selection. Cohen and Greenfield are the last names of the co-founders of this company that created Cherry Garcia ice cream. Yes, Player 1? Woo! Correct. Player 1, choose again. Though it started with just 31 flavors, this chain now has more than 1,000, including SPF 31. Yes, Player 1? Wow! That's correct. You get to pick again, Player 1. This treat gets its name because a certain fruit is cut lengthwise and then topped with ice cream, nuts, and whipped cream. Yes, Player 1? Yeah! Hey, you're right. Select again. This 3-flavored ice cream is named for an Italian city. Okay, Player 1? That's it. Player 1, choose again. Many claim to have invented these. One man made them from waffles at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Here's what we wanted: ice cream cones. Player 1, choose again. It equals a 2.0 GPA. Okay, Player 1? Correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. It stands for a metric unit equal to about a quarter gallon. Here's the correct response: L. You get to pick again, Player 1. It's the 21st letter of our alphabet. It's Player 1. Player 1, you pick again, please. In Morse code, it's 3 dots. Here's the correct response: S. Please pick again, Player 1. If your trademark application is okayed, you can follow the trademarked item with this letter in a circle. Let's hear it, Player 1. Nope. Oh! Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's Player 2. Oh. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 3? Right. Player 3, you start. In Chapter 52 of this novel, a boisterous crowd is gathering for Fagin's execution. Okay, player one. Correct. Player one, start us. Jack Palance's character is described as a saddlebag with eyes in this 1991 comedy. It's player two. Yeah, good. All right, let's get back into this. Player two has in the film Music and Lyrics, Hugh Grant plays the Jeopardy think music written by this creator of Jeopardy. Let's hear it, player one. Woo! Right you are. Player one, start us. Irene Bedar, the speaking voice of this heroine in an animated Disney film, played her mother in The New World. Yes, player two. Nope. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player three. That's right. Way to go.
Yeah! Woo!
Player three, start us. The 2003 film Pieces of April starred this actress, who had yet to meet and marry Tom Cruise. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
That's it. Player one, make a selection, please. Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe sang about being two little girls from Little Rock in this 1953 movie musical. Here's what we wanted. Gentlemen prefer blondes. Select again. Named for a sea god who could change shape at will, Proteus is a moon of this planet. Player one?
Yeah!
You are correct. Player one, back to you for our next song. Phobos, a moon of this planet, was named for a son of Ares in Greek mythology. Here's the response we were looking for. Mars. Player one, back to you for our Saturn's largest moon is named this. Yes, player three?
Woo!
You are correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player three. Make us a 19th century author, known for writing about a venerable mansion with 7 acutely peaked gables. It's player one.
Yeah!
Yep. Player one, you start. The most volcanically active satellite in the solar system is Io, a moon of this planet. Here's the correct response. Jupiter. Select again. On its trip out of our solar system, this spacecraft discovered Puck, a moon of Uranus. The correct response is Voyager. Select again. Let's go over to Sarah.
Shown here on the upper right, it changed its name in 1935.
Here's what we wanted. Iran. Player 1, you pick it. It was Siam until 1939. Let's hear it, Player 3. That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 3. Make us. Until 1972, it was Ceylon. Here's the response we were looking for. Sri Lanka. You again, Player 3. It was the Khmer Republic from 1970 until 1975. Here's the correct response. Cambodia. You get to pick again, Player 3. People from the past appear to a brother and sister in Rewards and Fairies by this author of The Jungle Book. Let's hear it, Player 3. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 1? That's right. Way to go. Player 1, you start us off. Until 1975, it was the Malagasy Republic. Let's hear it, Player 2. Good. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? Modern novels with biblical titles include Jane Hamilton's The Book of Ruth and Toni Morrison's Song of Him. Player 1?
Oh!
Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Okay, Player 3? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? Let's hear it, Player 2. That's correct. On the plus side again. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. It's the Daily Double. Player 2, you are currently in last. So, what's your wager? All right, here's your clue. Even Grendel would love Seamus Heaney's new translation of the Anglo-Saxon epic about this title geet. No. Here's the response we were looking for. Beowulf. Player 2, you're going first in the Double Jeopardy round when we return. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Assassin and Victim. Beastly Noises. Health and Medicine. TV Math. Death of an Author. And U.S. Cities. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we... Marcus Junius Brutus et al., 44 BC. Player 1? Yes. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 1. This New Mexico artist colony town's Pueblo was chosen as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992. Yes, Player 1? Oh! Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, Player 3? Nope. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player 2. That's right. Way to go. Player 2, you start us off. Fred McMurray's title sons minus Paul Reiser's title dads. It's player 1. No, that's not right. Anyone else? Here's the correct response. 1. We return to you, player 2. Colonel Steve Austin's title worth plus the amount of title days at a time for Bonnie Franklin. We're talking about 6,000,001. Player 2, pick again. John Ritter's sitcom Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter times John Ritter's sitcom Company. Player 1. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is 24. Player 2, you pick again, please. Careful. Tina Fey's title Rock minus Ashton Kutcher's title Men. It's player 1. That's right. Way to go. Where do we begin, player 1? Hawkeye's unit number in MASH, plus John Lithgow's title Rock from the Sun. Yes, player 3? That's correct. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. James Earl Ray, 1968. Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue. Here's Jimmy.
If you're feeling a little rocky, run up these stairs to visit this city's museum at Benjamin Franklin Parkway.
It's player 1. That is correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Answer. The first of the daily doubles. You are currently in the lead. Player 1, please select your wager. And the daily double clue. Mormons settled this city in 1855, but thought it was too much of a gamble and abandoned it in 1857. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. Player 1, choose again. This Oklahoma city is known for its Art Deco buildings, including the Phillips Oil Philcade. The correct response is Tulsa. Player 1, pick again. Granite works sprung up in and around this state capital, using stone from Bahrain, a few miles away. Player 3? No. That's Any other takers? Okay, player one. That's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player two. You are correct. Where do we begin, player two? After the hungry German shepherd gnawed on the tree, it let out a... Player one? That's correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player one. If the species were reversed at Thanksgiving, the birds chowing down on us would be doing a lot of... Yes, player one? Right. You again, player one. I should never have committed a crime on the farm. I knew the pig would... Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. We return to you, player one. Playing bridge, the donkey led the four of clubs, and the elephant decided to... Here's what we wanted. Trumpet. Select again. The day Churchill died, it was if the horse kept calling for him with a neigh and a... Let's hear it, player two.
Yeah!
That's correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player two has control. Not the Rum Godse, 1948. Let's hear it, player three. No, that's not right. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Mohandas Gandhi. Player two, back to you for our next selection. Leon Czolgosz, 1901. It's player three. No, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we wanted. William McKinley. Select again. Answer. The other Daily Double. You are currently in second place. Decide on your wager, player two, and the clue. Yigal Amir, 1995. That's correct. We return to you, player two. Lateral epicondylitis is the medical term for the chronic arm injury called this sport's elbow. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player one. Statin drugs like Lipitor are used to lower the bad type of this. Player three? Right. Player three, make a selection, please, as we continue. A sign of this infection from the virus that also causes chickenpox is a blistering rash preceded by severe pain. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Where do we begin, player one? There are viral and bacterial types of this, the inflammation of the membranes covering the brain and spinal cord. We're talking about meningitis. Select again. The name of this fluid that contains white blood cells comes from the Latin for water. Okay, player 2. That's not it. Any other takers? Player 1? No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player 3? Good. Hey, you're on the plus side. Player 3, start us. She died on July 18th, 1817, after dealing with some pride and prejudice in her day. Yes, player 2.
Aww.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player 1. Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 1. It was this author, not the wallpaper, who went on November 30th, 1900. We're talking about Oscar Wilde. You get to pick again, player 1. No amount of electricity could reanimate her on February 1st, 1851. We're talking about Mary Shelley. You again, player 1. On September 28, 1891, he died in New York City after a whale of a life. Let's hear it, player 1. Right. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. After October 19, 1745, he would make no more modest proposals. Here's what we were looking for. Jonathan Swift. Good game. All of you will continue on to play Final Jeopardy when we return. This is the Final Jeopardy category for today. The 50 states. Please enter your wager. And the last clue? It was the only state physically and politically formed directly because of the Civil War. Your response? With that correct response, you will gain. Let's see your response. And that will lose you. What did you put as your response? With that correct response, you will gain. Player 1, congratulations to you. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.